believe in a project that changes our lives. We open the internet, right? The change came around 2008 because of a cable we call the East African Marine System. This is the cable. It's a marine cable. And I was involved with Enoch, unfortunately. That cable connects Mombasa and Nigeria. And when this cable added in 2008, you recall even the speed of internet changed. The calling cost have come down. So today when you interact with WhatsApp, with emails and so on, it can't be very easy because of that. So I'll be involved with that for a long time. In addition to what Lieutenant has said about my service, I've worked or I've served in Middle Board Director, BS boards. One of them being Sure Board, I worked with the Chan. I was involved, was at Kenya. I've been at Kenyan for a long time, so when I also talk about the procurement of assets, it was very important. Currently, I'm taking Kenya Power, program there, and across many others, like National Housing Corporation, like WhatsApp, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much. Now, before I want to talk with you about the role of both financial mobilization, of course, financial asset, and more particularly how do we effectively utilize those resources. My presentation is outlined as you can see. Public investment, national public investment, public funds, local and public funds, role of treasury, and what is the role in resource organization, what is the role in financial asset. Public investment, because I want us to come from public investment to public investment for our role in sector operations, so that at least we get to know how we fit in the whole scheme of things. When government spends money for public funds, public expenditure in all these activities, in health, in education, in public administration, all that. Whatever expenditure the government makes, we call for that public investment. Okay. So when the government spends on education or health, we call that public investment. But when the public funds are spent on public entities, like state operations, we call that government investment. So your operation is government investment. So when governments give you grants, right? We get government from government. When you take loans, and these loans are going out to the state operation, when we guarantee, the government guarantees your entity, okay, for roads or whatever. When the government has invested in equity, when the government gives you subsidies, all those public expenditures on state operations, we call them public investment. Right? Public investment. Right? And of course, we are public entities. Right? You could be established through an act of parliament, or you have our own act, or we could be established with a legal notice, or we could be established in a Companies Act. Okay? But the government has more than 50% of the shareholding. In that case, you're a public entity. Right? So if you're categorized under this, you're a public entity. Right? In terms of how you establish and how the government has got involved in your participation and so on and so forth. So you're a public entity. And therefore, this is where I come to. The funds that accrue to you as a state corporation are public funds. Okay? They're public funds. And public funds, I think I've talked about what they are. They are laws, or how do you spend public funds? Public funds are spent, or how you spend them, are governed by the law, by the Constitution, the PFM Act, the Corporation Act, the Public Procurement Act that I also talked about. The Treasury also gives you regulations and circulars about to spend public funds. So public funds have to be spent in accordance with the law. Okay? Or in the regulations, or in some guidelines that the government or the Treasury issues. And in the way the public raising of public funds and expenditure, application and expenditure is concerned, there is a role of Parliament. And so you know. And the role of Parliament has the role of raising revenue and how those funds are appropriated for the purpose of government. Those are roles given to Parliament. Okay. But the Treasury has got its own role. The role of Treasury is responsible for the control and management of those resources after they have been appropriated by Parliament. So Parliament, Treasury cannot decide. Okay? So basically, the Treasury is basically to oversight or to control and manage the resources that have been appropriated by Parliament. Treasury does not appropriate. Treasury does not determine how the funds are raised. That one is determined is the role of Parliament. But even though the Parliament has appropriated funds to the state corporation, specifically to this corporation, because we are one of the last state corporations, you cannot spend those funds before you come to the national treasury. Alright. You go to Parliament, maybe you are, let's see, the example of Kenya, for example. You go to Parliament. Parliament has appropriated so much money to Kenya, or to Bura, or to KNH, or to whoever. You cannot spend that money before you come to the national treasury. Why? Because Parliament appropriated a raw figure to you. Right? Particularly for the current expenditures. We say this financial year, we have appropriated to you 1 billion. Okay? Say for example, for current expenditure. To spend on what? Parliament does not say what you're going to spend that money on. So, before you spend that money, you must come to the treasury and tell the treasury, this 1 billion that have been appropriated for the current expenditure, I'm going to spend so much money on salaries, so much money for repair and maintenance, so much money for insurance, so much money for, you give us a breakdown and then we discuss and agree on how we are going to spend that money. So you must have the treasury, and this is why you find that the treasury is at the center of the budget process. Right? So the point is that you cannot, and the point is clearly, PFM and the State Corporation Act, so you must have the treasury for that. I don't want to go into detail about this. I want to share this this review. Now, when we come to this, that's the role of the Treasury and that's an equivalent. Let us now come to your role now as a board. When you are appointed as board member, right? You sit there as basically like the owner, or you sit there to represent the owner of the Treasury or government. Right? So, you are responsible for the affairs of that operation. And I think someone will talk to you maybe about state operation as security that has given you the responsibility of whatever happens in that particular state operation. Right? So, when the government appropriates funds to a state operation, and funds are given to the board. Those funds are given to the board to us. Those funds are not given to management. And this is what I would like you to go with. The funds are given to the board. Alright? The board member can be there because they are already there, operations, but the funds are given to the boards. Right? So the boards have the responsibility to ensure that you are fully funded. Okay. And the basis for the social organization should be a certain plan. How much money do you need for the next 5 years, right? So based on that, you'll be able to know the resources and of course get involved to know how to the first one. So I will not go into discussion about the strategic plan. I know we should already discuss. What the next about here is about after of course you got the funds, you have to prepare the annual budgets, which of course have to be done from the annual plans. And then from the annual plans, you are supposed to prepare the annual budgets. And the budgets are submitted to the revenue ministry, and there must be an annual plan, and it should be zero-based. By zero-based here we mean the budget that you prepare must be based on the actual expenditures, or when you project your activities for the following year, you must be able to know how much money is required. It does not mean that you sit down and do some projections and so say that we are going to add 5% of the personnel emoluments or this particular activity. You are supposed to do a projection to know the activities for the following year, right? And see the funding requirement for the following year, and do appropriate costing of those activities and appropriate funds as necessary. So zero-based budgeting is a method of budgeting in which expenses must be justified for each period, right? It must be built around what is needed for the annual period, regardless of whether the budget, each budget is higher or lower than next year. What does that mean? That means, if, for example, you budget for insurance, for example, you have to assess for personal emoluments how many staff that you have for the following year. Okay, how much is basic salary, how much is allowances, how much does board require, depending on the meetings that you want to have, and so forth. So it should be based on the actual requirements for the year. And the budget that we prepare is has got two main components. The first component is what we call the current budget, whatever we call it in the budget. And the current budget, of course, has got two components, the personal ordinance and what we call the one. And the current budget you can have a new project, you can have a new ongoing project, or you can have what we call other development expenditures. These are development expenditures mainly we talk about. They could be development expenditures, but to support operations. For example, procurement of vehicles. Okay. A vehicle is a motor vehicle or a machinery or whatever. That is a development expenditure, but to support your operation. When you buy computers, those are development expenditures, but they are supposed to support your operation. So this is how they are categorized, and I think it's important for board members to appreciate, to know how they are categorized. So, when we come to the resource requirement for the current budget, as board members, where should we get that funds from? Okay? The current revenue, the funds to meet the current budget, right from, you can have your own, generated funds, that's what we call AEM. We have operations that generate their own funds, like KEA, like KPA, like the from operation we generate funds, or KEAs. Or governments can allocate to you resources dedicated for, current expenditures. Okay? Or it could be fees if you are regulator. You could charge fees and levies that in which case you can spend time of that money to make your current expenditures. So these are the main sources for current. So when you see at the board and we are talking about resource requirements for current expenditures, these are the main sources. You can also get some donations, maybe from donors and this kind of thing. It happens. Okay. But look at the sources. We are not saying that because we don't can borrow. But can you see borrowing here? That means you cannot use borrowing to meet your current expenditure. These use the level. This is about prescribed here. But when it comes to current expenditure, you must be very careful not to think about borrowing to meet the expenditure. We decided it, unless you come to us and tell us why. But it should not be a method of funding your current expenditure that board should sit down and discuss. Now, when it comes to development expenditures, the development budget, right? And we're discussing the capital projects. All capital projects should be conceptualized, pipeline for budgeting and allocation in line with the legal notice. There's a legal notice we issued last year. We call it the Public Investment Management Regulations. Okay. So when we come to discuss the funding of our projects, okay? You must make sure, or ask management assures that you have gone, that project has gone through this process we call the public investment management process before you discuss it for even pipelining it or even budgeting. Okay. So the legal notice requires that not a project will be implemented without the approval of the National Treasury if that project is more than 500 million. So when we come to discuss those kind of projects, it is more than 500 million. Ask the management, has this project been approved by the National Treasury? Okay. But if that project is less than 500 million, there is the regulations are given guidelines on how to go about that. That can be done between yourself and the ministry. This is not a funding. You can develop concept notes, and implement that in a particular project. But of course, there's a framework or a process in which you can be able to development budget. These are the different ways. Remember the one for the cabinet. You can get some grants from the government or donors. You can borrow. You see now we are now having not borrow here. You can borrow to fund the budget. You can use the surplus from the previous year. Maybe you had some surplus from the previous year. Okay? So that money you can use to fund the budget. Again, fees for those who are regulators or PPP. Is a PPP framework that has been established. You can sell assets that are not strategic. Anyway, these are the different ways in which you can be able to respond. So when you see the word like this is right? But these are the different ways in which you can be able to raise. Now, there's a process in which you have to follow if you request to get grants from government. If you look at what I said, there are so many methods, right? But only among these two, the one for I'll highlight on the list and it goes to on the others you can do. So the first one is governments. You can get grants from government, propose the government and development. And when it comes to getting grants from the government, and I want to say this, you must go to the budget. Right. Because we hear a lot of complaints. President has not given us much. Right. Manager will tell you, you know, president. Alright? You know president. So every day you can say president. President does not determine how much money you get. Alright? From where I see from the national treasury, I don't know the priorities of this regulation. So what we ourselves do, we give a say and we tell this organization, this is how much we can give to you. So as a CS Minister of Education, as a CS Minister of Works, as a CS Minister of Health, determine how much each of the operations we get. Alright? Myself, I don't know. What are the priorities to the Minister of Health? How much you give to care? I don't know. I cannot. I don't have that capacity. Right? So if you don't get, if this complaint about treasury, and maybe I will give you a read that, don't buy the idea of money. Tell you as a treasury. It means we are not able to convince the sectors and the ministry, alright, that the funds which will be required, alright, we are not able to convince that team and get the funds to be required. Okay. So next time we meet in the street or in the office, don't come and say, no. If you come to me and send it back to me, so where you come from. I know that because I think you can't help. Borrowing. Again, when you want to borrow, there is a process, and the state operating mass is 5 it shows how you can borrow. But borrowing is basically only to fund projects and develop budgets, but it is not to fund the cards. Right? And I'd like to talk a bit about borrowing, because you can have direct borrowing. For those who are commercial, you can have direct borrowing. And this is depends on the strength of the balance sheet. Your balance sheet is sufficient, you can be able to. If you look at the balance sheet of some of these operations, a lot of borrowing is done to the balance sheet. Some of them, and most of them, they have a small balance sheet. They come to the treasury, and the treasury is able to borrow from them on their behalf, and then you can only lend that money. For example, Kenyans. We have something to Kenyans here. If you look at the balance sheet of Kenyans, about 98% of the loan in their books is this category for the SDR. The balance sheet of Kenya Revenues will not accommodate the SDR from Exim Bank, so the government got the money from its own balance sheet and provided the money to Kenya Revenues. Same case is called Kenyan balance sheet. About 84% of the loan portfolio of this category. Same case in Kenya Power, about 65%. If you go to KA, a big portion of it, you get KA, right? So if your balance sheet is not big enough, you can government, you can discuss, and then you can go to whatever. And then these others. Overdraft, you must have the treasury for borrowing that you can manage whatever. The PPP framework, if you are listed like Kenyan, like PPC, you can go through the capital market and you can be able to list on the capital market. Now, that's as far as your role is involved in this organization. I'm assuming by now you have prepared a budget, and you have prepared, or you know how much resources you require for next financial year, both the government and both the carry. So the next thing, once you have fully funded, is to provide financial oversight. Because you're not involved in money matter, financial oversight. Right? I don't want to go back to this certificate, which I talked about. It ties you as a board member. That whatever is happening in your procurements, like Elko say, you are responsible, right? And these are the tools that you can use in financial oversight. One of them is the policies. I believe you have financial policies in place. I don't know. If you don't have, ask management whether you don't have it. And updated. Even if it was done 3-4 years, I think it's important every year the board teaching through these financial regulations, policies, even to appreciate what the content. Has it been aligned to public investment in that? Has it been aligned to the public procurement process? So it's important that you ask management to take you through the policies. Then the other one is budget approval. It's also a tool of financial oversight. We're going to discuss more details in the process and all that. Audit, I don't want to go into detail about this. You have both financial ratios which you can use, and efficiency ratios, which are of course, and I believe your performance contracts. Some of these things are captured because you want to be able to whatever. And the final one is financial reporting. Alright? The management needs to report to you every quarter on a regular basis how they are performing the financial. Audit, I don't want to discuss so much about this audit. I'm sure we'll come and discuss about it. But what's important about audit here as a tool of financial oversight is that you must have, this is the only committee that you must have by law. This is by law. I understand the challenge doesn't have, which, oh my God, doesn't have authority. Which one is this? Post operation. You have post operation care. Post operation care is one that doesn't have audit committee. And of course, you can that issue. Yeah? It must have it. And this audit committee must have support from the treasury. It must have between 3 and 5 members. The chairman of those who are here ensure that you have that committee and it's properly constituted. Okay? The budget as a tool of financial oversight. No analysis and the process of funding can be implemented before they get the approval of the government. Budgets must be approved by the full board. The management do not have the authority of approving the budget and sending it to government. So the board must own the budget. Management can prepare, right? But the board must own it. In fact, as treasurer, before we even review the budget which has submitted to us, to the ministry and so on, the first thing that we ask is the approval of the board. If you don't have the board approval, we cannot look at that budget. Unless you budget convince us, maybe at the point at which you are preparing the board, there will not vote in place. Okay? But the board must approve the budget. This is the process of the budget process. I don't want to go into a lot of details, but what is important here is to know that by December, so by December, by January 31st, you must submit the budget of the state corporation. And the budget begins sometime in August and ends sometime in December. By this point, by December, every state corporation knows how much money they are going to get from the government. Right? And this is why we said January 1st to be the because by December we assume a state corporation knows how much they are going to get from the government, how much they are going to get from the AEA, and therefore on the basis of that they are able to prepare the budget. Right? So by the 1st December we must have the budget to treasury. And by June, that year, right, we respond or we come back to each state corporation with the approved budget. We either rejected it or we have approved. Okay? Then after we get the budget as a whole, the next thing is to provide to oversee the budget execution. So come July 1, the first thing that we ask you as the CEO and the budget to be approved. Right? It is approved basis. Right? Then from there, you begin as a board to do to oversee the budget execution. Okay? Right. These are just important highlights. When you prepare the budget, you must ensure that you disclose all the sources of funds. Because if you don't disclose to us, if you don't disclose to treasury any amount, you cannot spend that money. You cannot spend the budget over and above what the treasury has approved in both the current and the government. So if you believe in the course of the year you're able to get more money than you have planned, right? You cannot spend that money for the treasury. That's very important. This is very important for national rights. The other thing that you must look at in the budget is the cash flow. Right? In fact, if you submit us a budget, we look at the cash flow, we don't even look at it. You know, cash is key. Cash is key. Yeah? You can be very profitable and you collapse because of cash. Right? So cash flow is very, very important. Again, as a board, you must make sure that even when you're approving the budget, you don't have that because you are not going to be able to invest it. I think the other one is for the division of budget. Once the budget has been approved by the government, the ministry, and the treasury, you can revise the budget, right? Up to a maximum of 10%. You can beat yourself as a board. And division here, we are not talking revise to incur expenditures or to spend more than what has been approved. Because if you are talking about spending more than you've been approved, that is not the next budget. That is an agenda of the approved budget. What we call a supplementary. Okay? A supplementary. A supplementary is an agenda of the revenue right. It has been valid, right? So the vision will mean you can reallocate, right? The approved budget within up to a maximum of 10% of the calendar of the whatever. Okay? allocates the budget lines is also at 20%. If it's beyond that, you can't get the project because it means the budget we approved is not the budget you are implementing. We think it goes beyond that. Okay? So you can advise up to 20%. And vision, mind you, is not to spend more than has been. I think that's see. I think I've said this. You must okay. If you are implementing a budget, you must get approval. In projects, you must ensure that all the CPs are met. Okay. Okay. This is what I was saying. When you approve the budget, you must look at the comments you make. And when you look at some, then if you look at the second question that I have got in trouble, including in and out, parents and private city. The issues there, we have identified in time. In fact, in the election of last year, we see now the master address of cases. And from that, we know what happened. The good task force was appointed because we saw that now this is not something very hard. How we must do something. That's it. Right? So if you look at the buses here, in trouble. Ask the CEOs, the CEOs, vice chancellors, the comments you have made over years are treated because you see some of this kind, right? And then so it's very important that you look at those comments that you have made, so that you can be able to of course, the one is important. Then I talk about that a bit later. It's something that I wanted to show you here about the approval. But this is not my laptop. Oh yes, oh, very nice. Comments that I made so that one is important, and I'm going to go to that a bit later. It's something that I wanted to show you here about the approval. But this is not my love. Oh yes, oh, very nice. So before we come, I'm going to put on my laptop. Now this will drop to nice. I'm in trouble. So, carry me by this presentation. Yes, so what I'm saying is that if you look at this is a lot of this question is about one of them. And this is the right thing to approve for this Nigeria. I don't know if you would around there. So if you look down here, there are three approvals. And this is another the first approval which are given in this corporation is approved direct. Right. The second one is approved capital project right. Without approval is approved capital either right. Okay? These are budgets that are approved by, and in most corporations, the money we not share with this. Why? Alright? The first building, okay? They have been allocated the house of money for 7 million, they were getting. Right? It does not mean that when you tell us we are for 7 million, we are going to approve, okay? For research and training, we have allocated to. So for traveling and accommodation, so this is what we want, right? So when you monitor, right? So you monitor against what is approved, right? It is capital projects. If you look at this corporation, they are submitted so many projects, right? But when you view what they had proposed, there's one we're calling topic plans, whatever it is, right? So we have given approved ability to million shares. This is the first one they have submitted. The next one is number 4. Meaning there was a project number 2, 3, which we didn't approve, right? So this number 4 is energy. I don't know how much it is there. Number 6, solar PV project, 1.8 million. So they are giving us the projects here, but only the approval of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And this is the total amount, 8.7 million, right? So when you go to capital item, the same case, again, yes, again you see a list of that, what needs to be. So my point here is that when you give the budget, ask for this so that we can be able to monitor and provide the work for the for this corporation, I don't know how this is work. The approved budget was about 60 million. Very big figures. Okay? So when you are again, I've given you some highlights here. When you are providing, when you are setting the extreme of the budget, you need to focus on some key things. You need to pay attention to over expenditure of budgets, over the expenditure, and the expenditure of budget is very serious. I remember when I was at Kenya, I used to sit with that and see the faces. We talk about it as our mission in Kenya. Because by the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, when they tell us, out of the money which is allocated, we are not spending so much money. And then they tell us, because we did not approve for it, because we need to spend this money, alright? We have generated so much, we have invested this money on TVs, on one, and we have made another additional period for that. My friend. Kenya was not given money for investing, or cura, or care. This is for projects, it's for the road. So this money should not be in the banks account. Should be in the road. Right? So when you see that they're not spending on this project, something is because you're not, unless you're commercial, like Kenya or power, right? But the money you are allocated by the government is not for investment. It's to undertake that service, to undertake this project. Right? So when you see there are expenditures, you must. The other thing that we notice is that claims, the contractors, a lot of claims in the road sector, Canadians come, there are a lot of issues on this. If you go to Kenya, if you go to KC, Kenya Power, a lot of claims on this project. Why? Because contractors have found a clever way of beating competition. So they bid very low now, and the engineers are doing this. They very low money is there because they want to get a contract. But once they get it, we want to exploit the contract and get money from the contract. Okay? Through this. These are some of the things that we are interested in. Variations, all these things, what they call environments, I don't know what. So we should establish a system for evaluating projects and project completion. So as you percentage projects, we need to take care of that. When it comes to payment regulation, must make sure that you are paying taxes, you are paying loans, the pensioners. There are some, for example, like parents or the British the pensioners. I don't know whether you are aware of what is the pensioners. There are a lot of issues with getting pension. When these pensioners are not paid, alright? Who is the writer of this pension? Parents. These are particularly for us defined benefits, skills. Alright? These are what we have problems with. The writers are out. The corporations. Because in our you have problems, benefits, scheme, democracy. I look at the how is not plus. I look at one is not plus. I don't have the other, the universities, both not plus. So, as a board, you are responsible for ensuring those pensioners and beneficiaries. And again, if you are not able to meet those obligations, who will make those obligations? If the parents is not able to meet those obligations, this pensioners must be paid. Where do you go to? Come to the government. You are fiscal institutions. So we are very much concerned about this the defined benefits which schemes have issues. I think about cash management. And this is very, very important. You find yourself in trouble. Okay, don't just hold your hand and say, God may help us. Of course, God will help us. But of course, you're responsible. You're supposed to ensure that you come out with a very good. I don't want us to speak like the Kenya for a vote. I think Ghana is best. Because when Ghana come to get involved, needs to come nasty. You know what I'm nasty. So don't allow government to come in. So if you're in trouble, right, just come to us. As board discusses, come to us, we discuss how do we solve this. Because these are issues. They're not an issue only. It's an issue, it's a concern to us that you're not doing as government, as children. So come to us and let us discuss on how we can. So don't wait until the last minute. Like now we are discussing the issue of post-bank. Post-bank right now is we are discussing how do we handle post-bank. Post-corporation, custody. Let's see how we can. Of course, there's also not in good shape. Okay, again, apart from the budget, you can, again, we talk about your assets, how do you, the tools you use. You can use your financial issues, you can use KPIs, current ratios. You look at your current budget, this is your personal documents against total revenue. Because some of us just read that. You have this regional projects. If you look at their budget, they're just read. And they no one has come to us to ask us, and how do we get out of this? I'm not seeing any proposal from the some of us would also just pay salaries, which is not right. There's nothing wrong with paying salaries, but don't spend all the money on salaries. Some of us are leveraged. Some of us have got more advanced than the technical. For example, this is happening. If you look at the teaching staff and the administration staff, they're not right here. Anyway, these are the issues we find. So, as a board, this is how to ensure some of these reports work. Okay? I told you a list of budgets whereby you are getting money for investment. This is what I was talking about. Okay? I don't want to go to the CEO, but when it comes to write-off of losses, if it exceeds $100,000, you pass that to the treasury, and then we assist you in the write-off of that. I believe there could be some losses that you can give us in the operations. So sometimes there are these issues to do with this process. Don't just sit there. How they should be this every time. Come to us. We're going to discuss, and then you see how we can get enough from the books. And then for serious work, any material matter that happens to the operation, don't hide it, bring it to the board. Because this is a lot of conflict arising from here, where the board members are learning some things happening from the press of the months. Yeah, you need to be These are challenges. I don't want to go through them. That we get, but I will get time we can go through them. The PC, I think about the PC. Again, we get involved as treasury. And I think it's important that the board of get, of course, the board needs to get involved in the PC. And then this is on reporting. Every quarter, the board is supposed to be getting an update on where we are, financial performance, and this kind of thing. And every quarter, the 15th of like for example, like last year's quarter, we managed to start the third quarter. So this is very, very important that the board gets. And the 15th of every quarter, including March. You must meet the financial performance of the treasury. I believe last week or week, we started as a board and discussed about the third quarter financial performance. I don't know how many of you did that. If you did not, then you have reached wrong. And management should not be submitting this report to the treasury and the government without the board seeing them. Even if it is going to look like it. So, and of course, to the auditor, I'm finishing up with the next 2 minutes. Disposal of assets. I say one of the methods of raise funds is disposal of the assets. Yeah? You can discuss the law allows you to do that. But when we come to land, if they are current assets, for example, computers, vehicles, you don't need desks, that you don't need, step, that you don't need, those you can dispose. Okay? You can call them current assets. Those can dispose them. But of course, you must make sure that they're right. Don't dispose and then spend that money. If that's not the first thing that you must have a disposal plan. Alright? And the amount of money which you're going to raise from the disposal plan, you must budget it, come to the treasury and then approve. But when it comes to hand, building and land, don't sit down and you say you have 50 acres, 200 acres, you can dispose of 10 acres to meet your financial needs. And the following day you are saved. the disposal of building and land is guided by the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, Section 170. This regulation was issued last 2020. We must now come to the so, including these leases, because if you look at the definition of disposal in the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, it also lease is also a disposal, right? So you can lease the master before you were leasing the government to the treasury, but now the law has changed, or this now the matter including this. The only what you see become a for this is only KPC and KJ. They do come. They want this somebody. These others like those like this. We do a lot of listening, although I've created them. Should come to the national treasury. And then that is. When it comes to issues to do with the rentals, surplus funds, and the profits, if you declare, the treasury is just like any other shareholder. If you invest in Kenya and you make a profit and you are sharing with the other shareholders, sharing that so you need to ensure that you do that. If you are a regulator, there is a guidance given under Section 219. It requires that if you're a regulator, you have CK, Immigration Board of Health, is a regulator. We have others like ACA, Evaluation, US, Clinical of Standards, these are regulators. If you're a regulator and you make a sample at the end of the year, by law you're supposed to limit 90% of the sample. Why? Because you only, you invest like CK, you are getting money from this zero spectrum, which is a part of good, isn't it? So basically, you're making that money on behalf of the government, but the government has to do that. So you spend the money, you can't be approved for you, you pay up to, but if you declare surplus, you must declare that 90%. I'm concluding now. I don't want to delay on this, but you have a business of ensuring of opportunity of a business. This management to me is very, very important because of the fiscal risk. If you are in trouble, you come to me, right? As treasurer. So I don't want to get that. You must go to employing. These are basically your orders as well. I think it's about you must ensure that you're fully funded. If you don't distress, we say that you must come to treasury. You should not expend without approval of the treasury. I think that we spoke about that. You have a role of executing the approved budgets. And let me tell you about this type of operation. Who knows the budget of the county government for this year? Total. Anybody in idea? How about the total budget for the counties this year? Including the counties, we are saying about 300 and something billion. The correct about 100 and something billion. The county government's budgets, which we talk about the population of all the counties, is 500 million maximum. This year, you know the budget approval for the state corporations. 1.33. Double. More than double the current government. Right? If you combine the clear power budget this year is 198 million. Clear power. This year. So over 150 million. Of interest. If you go up to 2002, the last budget that was there in 2003 before the NACA making peace. The total revenue for 2003 taxes was 189 billion. I don't know what that. The year preceding NACA, success was 1 billion. Right? Today, we are our own as a corporation has a value of 180 billion. So let's see figures of the company. So we compare the value of Kenya Power, Kenya, KCA, Kenya, Cobra is about 500 million. These are all different corporations. County governments are 47 governments. So we don't want these figures. But in the overseas. Right? So this is why we are stressing here that we need to ensure that it is effective. Because it has a big impact if we oversight these budgets in an effective and efficient. And ensure that the funds are spent in an efficient and effective manner. You have got a big role to help this country transform this country. If you are able to execute oversight budgets. I've spoken about over expenditure of approved budgets. When we see an budgeting of a budgeting, that is there. That is the I think about it. I'll talk about regional budgets. All right. I'll talk about the last point is a bit important. That's the man. Is on this. You see the budget which you are putting. We talk about buy Kenya. If we ensure this happens, this will have a lot of impact in the economy. You build Kenya, and I give you an example, I'm repeating it here. If, for example, you are to report all this, if you look at the project you have here, right? Suppose all these projects are coming from China. If I look at you, you get the justice you are the suits, the clothes you're wearing. Are they Kenyan? Most likely not, isn't it? You know, what exactly? If you look at the furniture, it means that all these jobs which are being done in these sectors, are they in Kenya? Are they in Kenya? Where are these jobs? They're in China, isn't it? They're in Turkey. So I'm saying that we send our children to China. So even at personal level, if we can make an effort and buy Kenya, we'll be able to get all this country. But we have all these jobs, all these, politicians, with all these benefits. But these benefits are not to us, they are outside. We also have who are looking for jobs. So it means that if we are not careful, this is what happens here. We're not careful, and all these jobs are out there. We have to accept. So to help this country, let us try to, as I said, we want to help Kenya and build Kenya. And of course, I think it is at board level, ensuring that this